What up, beautiful sights, guys? It has been. We are pumping. Even though we did take a very slight dump right here on the very short time frames, guys. Just because, don't worry, we have the code cracked here. It's all due to this one moving average on the 5-day, guys. We just hit it, we just tapped it, and then we just bounced right back off of it. Now, I don't want to talk about this too much. Later today, I'm going to be making a special video about this, guys. But again, if you guys really want moon, we have to go below like 4.28%. But for now, I'm pretty sure we're going to keep moving higher. I don't believe that's the top. I told you guys, right? When we're at the top, I'm going to let you guys know because we aren't. You guys realize that this bull cycle, right, that's been going since 2022 for a couple years now, is going to end by next year, not this year. I don't believe it's this year, right? The reason being is because we still haven't seen the money. The one mechanism that manipulates every market to go to unexpected heights, and that is the money printer, and it's about to begin. Why? Because other central banks are starting to begin. From what you grew, Justin, Bank of England cuts interest rates by 25 basis points to 4%, right? So the money printers are starting to. Do you guys hear them coming, right? Or hear them printing? Brr. From Crypto Rover. Breaking! 3 rate cuts are now expected by the end of the year. Massive wave of fresh liquidity incoming. So every central bank around the globe are cutting rates, except one. Now, the issue here is, well, Donald Trump has been making the same argument that other central banks are cutting, but America isn't. We need the Fed to start cutting. Now, the Fed isn't only going to cut once, not twice, but 3 times this year. 3 times, like we stated before. When they cut, they're gonna cut a bunch of times, and it's gonna be large cuts, guys, right? Not small ones like 25 basis points, like large. Maybe the first one will be 25. Yeah, the first one will be 25 basis points, but after that, it's gonna get bigger and bigger. In my opinion, probably like emergency rate cuts at that. Now, so we got the money printer soon to be starting, which will, I think they'll print like 30 trillion this time around. Last time I think they printed 9 trillion or just below 10 trillion. I think this time it's gonna be like 20 to 30 trillion, more so 30 trillion, guys. Right? They just wanna blow everything up, in my opinion. You know how much money will be flooded into the crypto market and stock market here soon, in my humble opinion, right? That's why I think like people are just too bearish, and we haven't seen anything yet. Yes, I know that Bitcoin is above 100K, but I still believe it's going to go to like 500K, 300K minimum this cycle, I think. But 500K to a million will be beautiful. And I think it's possible because it seems like right now they're setting the stage, they're setting the rails for these plans to come into fruition. Why? Justin, President Trump to sign executive order allowing cryptocurrencies in 401k retirement plans today. That's it. You won. But this was yesterday, right? But again, you did win. Why? Because not only do we have the money printer, that's literally the main mechanism to pump markets to astronomical heights, but now we have this other one, right? To bring upon TradFi and force them to flood their money into cryptos. Why? You guys see how Donald Trump isn't really targeting the stock market? Because he is the crypto president. He got the call, he got the order that he must pump cryptos to lure everyone in. I'm telling you, cryptos need to recreate the tulip bubble, and it will. From Chad, if just 5% of the 401ks took crypto positions, it would be around $400 billion in new net inflows to cryptos. What, guys? You guys notice that millions of dollars pump XRP. Right? Because there's like a multiplier, a crazy multiplier, guys, and you don't need much money to pump it. Imagine if a portion of this $400 billion enters XRP, which it will, 30%, right? That's billions upon billions of dollars. That literally means, even if $10 billion were to flow into XRP, what is that? That's gonna make XRP go to trillions. I think like $2 trillion to $6 trillion in market cap. That means like I think around $20 to $100, guys. right? Like $40 to $100 incoming just by $10 billion, if I'm not mistaken, right? If there is a multiplier on XRP, which is like 200x to 600x, now that's only 10 billion. We're talking about 400 billion, and that's just 5% of the 401ks, guys, right? Because there's trillions and trillions and trillions. So let's read on. You guys see how explosive it's about to get, right? People are really underestimating. I'm not kidding. United States President Donald Trump will sign an executive order on Thursday allowing crypto in 401k retirement plans. Trump aims to allow private equity, real estate, and other alternative assets to be a part of the 401k plan. The executive order helps to tap in an approximate $12 trillion, there it is, $12 trillion held in the retirement accounts across the United States. Now, we know a portion, not all this money will be flooding in, because it is risky when we talk about cryptos. But again, let me explain to you. I think 10% will flood in. I'll explain to you why. It's so easy. Wow, they really are going to blow up the entire crypto market, guys. I'm not even kidding. Let me explain. Here's Bitcoin. Okay, and if this goes, everything else will go. Let's say, so it's already approved, guys. It's already signed. Let's say Bitcoin travels to like 300k. Do you not realize that those plans, those retirement accounts will be getting FOMO, right? Because they're going to be seeing the prices moving higher. Then 500k, more FOMO, right? Then a million, max FOMO will be appearing there. And yeah, like 10% will probably flood in, right? $1 trillion or so into the entire crypto market. Just imagine that, guys. $1 trillion, huh? Is XRP going above $100 a cycle by next year? What? It could be possible when we talk about all this money. I mean, this is just one pathway. Don't forget about the money printer, right? That more so targets the stock market. But again, since the stock market participants, users will be getting FOMO, right? Because they aren't robots. Mainly they are, to be honest, but some of them aren't robots, which will be flooding their cash positions into cryptos. And what's the front runner of the cycle? XRP, that is. Interesting. It's so easy. Guys, oh my lord, this is diabolical. United States pensions will experience a rapid change with the induction of crypto in the 401k retirement plan signed by Trump. Opting for new options will untap greater potential, as the upside value could be tremendous. Allocating them now and waiting till pensions go live could make the fund soar over the years and decades. The United States is banking on the recent financial shift with crypto-friendly policies that benefit Americans. Another thing is, just be safe out there. When we see Bitcoin at $1 million, XRP at near $100 or at 100 or even beyond 100 this cycle by next year, Ethereum like 50k to 100k, and don't forget altcoins that will 30, 100 to 1000x overnight because of the amount of money, the money factor. There's just so much money, and some of that money will be like spiraling down to the craziest lowest market cap altcoins, which will make them 100x overnight. Well, when we see that, I know we're gonna have max FOMO, but just remember what I'm saying right now. Please remember this: when we're at those prices, sell a portion minimum. You don't have to sell it all, because who knows? Maybe it just keeps going higher. But I'm saying right now to sell a portion, 30%, something. Right, in case, because right after I believe a collapse will appear, which will take all the gains back in a single night. So there's that. But I'm pretty sure if we go all the way up there, you're gonna take some profits, right? Because you're probably gonna make so much money. Here comes Donald Trump again. President Trump officially signs executive orders to stop banking discrimination against crypto, religion, and politics. Right, against crypto. What does that mean? The banks now have the green. I think they're going to get forced to join the crypto sphere, right, and offer products, services, buy, sells. Maybe they're going to bring it upon their own exchanges. Who knows, right? But the banks don't want to get left behind in this matter, guys, and they won't, right? They're going to gobble up as much as they can. Because this is a new financial system. Now, crypto czar David Sachs says the executive orders President Trump signed today will give 90 million Americans access to crypto. Look at that. What does that mean? the banks will enter here very shortly. They already are. But we really want them to start buying, right? Letting customers start buying and selling and all that stuff. But this is another mechanism to lure the whole of America into crypto before the collapse. But Donald Trump was lying. He was truthful because he once made a promise. I'll also stop Joe Biden's crusade to crush crypto. We are going to stop it. I'll ensure that the future of crypto and the future of Bitcoin will be made in the United States of America. Then promise kept. President Trump signed a Genius Act into law establishing a regulatory framework for stablecoins and helping to ensure the United States to remain the global leader in cryptocurrency, and unveiled a framework for achieving a United States digital asset dominance, keeping President Trump's promise to ensure the future of crypto is American. He wasn't lying. Okay, he was not lying at all. Which is why BlackRock buys 1,000 more Bitcoin yesterday. Whales are accumulating like never before. What is the spike? Look, Bitcoin liquidity inventory, and United States spot ETF demand. Wow. So the demand is rising like crazy amounts, guys, right? Yeah, it's getting crazy, guys. But I think this thing is just gonna keep spiking up and up and up until it tops out, right? Until we're at crazy prices. To be honest, someone just opened a $149 million long position on Bitcoin just before the recent pump. Okay, or this was in the morning of today. Wow, again, another 40x. Why is that the case? We talked about this 40x number, which is very odd. I don't know. Maybe there's a bot running, right? And why would you even go 40x? That's very high. That's like a 20x on XRP, right? Equivalent. Because it's a double multiplier. A double volatility, guys, right, for XRP. But again, 40x is pretty crazy. I don't know. Very odd. But again, that is quite bullish if you ask me, guys. So, wow, people don't really realize what's upcoming. Are your eyes opened? Hopefully it is after this video. Please like it and not financial advice. What is that? So face, see ya.